Hi everyone, today I'll be interviewing my sister Jessica. The reason why I chose her today is that we are in the same discourse community. We are both first-generation Chinese Americans who are exposed to Chinese and American cultures every day. We are also known as ABCs, American-born Chinese. Since we are not considered to be fully immersed in one culture, we have experienced the hardships and discrimination from both sides. With that being said, we are also bilingual, speaking Cantonese in our household and English outside. And now, I will let Jessica go ahead and introduce herself.
Hi everyone, my name is Jessica, and like Jeannie said, I am her older sister. I am currently 21 years old and also a senior here at UNM. I am also a year-round intern at Sandia Labs as well. When I'm not working or doing homework, you can probably find me on social media or cooking.
That sounds great, Jessica. Do you mind if I ask you a few questions?
Sure, go ahead.
How has this discourse community affected your life, positively and negatively?
So, growing up in our discourse community was a bit difficult from what I could remember. My sisters and I didn't learn English until we went to daycare at the age of 3 or 4, so that caused a barrier between my peers and I. That being said, I faced a lot of hardships in my early youth as I felt like I didn't belong with others. I remember that my classmates would question why I looked different or ate quote-unquote smelly foods. However, as I got older, I began to slowly appreciate my culture and embrace it. I began to become more comfortable in my own skin and tried to educate myself in being more considerate of not only my culture, but others.
In your opinion, what are some of the most important beliefs in your community?
Some important beliefs in our community include language, work ethic, and religion. Being that Cantonese is my first language, it is an extremely important part of my discourse community as it is a way that I communicate with my parents. That being said, I hope to one day pass that on to my kids so that they can speak it as well. Next is work ethic. As weird as it sounds, I find it to contribute to who I am today. Seeing my parents work odd jobs at a young age just to make ends meet really encouraged me to work just as hard and pay them back for what they have sacrificed. And lastly, there is religion. As religion is an important part of many discourse communities, I feel that Buddhism has changed how I act and see the world in a new perspective.
What is your favorite thing about this discourse community?
So being raised in America, I find that being a part of this discourse community has differentiated me from my peers. While I experienced discrimination at a very young age, I think that's what made me stronger today. Therefore, I am proud to say that I am a Chinese American woman who can educate and express my beliefs to those who are interested.
How has this discourse community affect the way of your thought process?
So, being a part of this discourse community has really opened my eyes in the way that I see others. It broadened my perspectives towards other cultures and religions. As I mentioned before, I was often ridiculed by my peers. Therefore, I never wanted to reflect those actions upon others. As I got older, I began to educate myself and be more aware of other people's beliefs. This in return has ensured me that I won't offend people by accident and also make them feel more welcome to share their culture.
What has been the most memorable part of your discourse community?
So, one of the most memorable parts of my discourse community is seeing my parents work 3 to 4 jobs just to make ends meet. I know that's a bit of an odd thing to say, but it has encouraged me to try just as hard as they did. While I was too young to realize at the time, I am thankful that I was able to witness it, as it contributes to who I am today. Whether it comes to academics or my professional life, I feel that if I'm excelling in whatever I do, it is kind of a way to pay back my parents and all the sacrifices they made.
Do you know anyone else in this discourse community apart from your family?
Yeah, so our dad is currently a small business owner here in Albuquerque, whose business caters towards the Asian population here in New Mexico. As I spent the majority of my childhood at my dad's business, I was able to meet and form relationships with not only people my age, but also people who are older. I am super grateful as I would have never known these people without this discourse community.
Thank you, Jessica. I will now be playing an audio clip of an example of one of the hardships we've experienced as Asian Americans. This audio clip is from Whaley, a Cantonese American YouTuber who I've been watching for over a decade. She also helped me embrace our culture and not to be ashamed of it.
In second grade, I decided the first day of school, Mom, I want to buy lunch at school. I just wanted to try it. So my parents gave me lunch money that day, and when I went into the lunch line, I remember looking at everything, and I was just like, how do you eat this? After that day, I went home and I was telling my mom, like, I don't really like the food, like that's not what I want to eat, so I think I'm just gonna go back to bringing my own food. So my mom was like, cool, okay. Anytime that my mom made soon choi kochiyok, I would be like, oh, today is my lucky day. So that night my mom made a big old pot of it so that she can pack me lunch for the next day, and she put it in like this like thermal warmer thing. It was like a cup like this. There were layers. On the top she put my rice, and on the bottom she put the meat. And I was so excited about lunchtime, okay girl? Like I knew that was in my lunch bag, and like while I was in class I was like looking forward to lunch. I'm like, I cannot wait to eat this. So by the time I get to lunch, I'm like ready, right? I like bust out my food. I'm like putting my rice down, putting my meat down. I got my chopsticks out, and I'm ready to eat. And then all of a sudden, all my classmates look at me, and then they're like, what is that smell? And at first I thought they thought it smelled good, because to me, this was a shit I grew up with, and this smells fucking amazing if you ask me. So I'm all like excited. I'm like, ooh, they want to know what I'm eating. Okay. They all come over and they're all like hovering over, right? They're like, what is that? Like, what is that smell? So I was like, oh, it's a pork belly with like pickled veggies. It's a Chinese dish. And then after I said pork belly, I don't know if it's because in America you don't call bacon pork belly, you call it bacon, but it's really pork belly. I don't know. The second I said pork belly, everyone freaked out, and they're like, ew, what are you eating? Why are you eating that? That's so disgusting. Oh my god, it smells so bad. Literally everyone just started talking about it, and they made it seem like the most disgusting thing ever. They all walked away, and I remember just like my heart sunk. I felt so embarrassed, but I didn't even know what I was embarrassed about, because I literally went from, oh my god, I'm so proud that I'm eating this and I'm having this, to oh my god, why did everyone freak out? I don't understand. I felt so embarrassed. Like I didn't even know if I should even eat anymore at that point. I was really hungry. It smelled really good. I wanted to eat it. But because everyone looked at me as if it's so disgusting, I felt like if I ate it, that would mean I'm disgusting. So I took a few bites and I just put it away, and I pretended like I didn't even like it myself. And I remember just feeling so disgusted with myself, because I was lying to myself, you know? I wanted to fit in, so I acted like something that I liked and something that I was so proud of was disgusting to me. So